What's this week been like, Elena, just in terms of you're coming now to the conclusion and you're coming to a really fraught end? Like, just what's the mood been like amongst the girls?
I would say that um, it's like obviously like after the game we were in the position that we wanted to be, and that was still on top of the league, and that's something that we were saying like, okay, we got the job done. Now we have 3 games left. Like it's all about recovery. It's all about getting away to then come in today and make sure that we're on top of it and we're hungry to do more.
I know you've said that you sense the belief within the squad that they're capable of going on and winning a title and writing their names into history, but what is it that you see from them that gives you that confidence?
I would say the excitement and obviously you saw the performance against Rangers. If we didn't perform how we did, and obviously like I said after the game, we created some good chances of scoring goals, and we should have won. And you don't see that if there's no belief in the team, and that's something that I need to highlight because I think we did really well. But also the games before Rangers, obviously we can count down the semi-final because it was not us, but how the momentum has been and how we've been playing and how we've been performing, that's a belief for me that I've seen every day in training, but also from the game. So that's something that we just need to keep going and doing what we've been doing, and hopefully we get what we want.
There seems so little between yourselves and Rangers when you look at the two squads. Like, there doesn't seem to be a huge gap between the two of you. You seem like very similar teams. What do you see in your team that leads you to believe that you have the edge?
Uh, Obviously, like you said it in the press conference before, like Rangers had the better team in paper and stuff, but I think it comes to what we have is a group of people who has a big heart, who are incredible persons, but also like since I've came here, my my thing as a coach is I want to make sure that it's not only about the experience, it's not only about what says on the back and what they've done. It's more about seeing potential and seeing what we can do and progress and have that belief that, I'm not going to say that, oh, she's not good enough or she's not good enough. It's more about seeing the potential and making sure that they live through the full potential. And when you have the heart and you have the mindset and you have technical, tactical, physical abilities, it's more about me as a manager or head coach to make sure that the full potential grows out. And I can sure say that there's many players that have been growing and have been more confident, and that's what I want to do. But I can't do it without the players' heart, head, and that's something that I think that we have. We have that passion, we have the mindset, we have the heart, and I think that's something that I love with my players is that every day I come here, I'm so excited to see them to get going and do another day with them. So I think that's something that I really, really love with this team.
This is a week that essentially defines your season. These 3 games now against Thistle, against Hearts, and against Hibs will determine the outcome. How do you manage this week in terms both of the physical demands and the mental demands?
Obviously, it's like before, it's one game at one time. We're only going to focus on Partick Thistle on Sunday. The trainings that we have today, tomorrow, and Saturday is only going to be about how we're going to be prepared for the game. And then after that, that's when we focus on Hearts. And then after Hearts, that's when we focus on Hibs. And that's something that, I'm proud of when you look like we've had injuries. They come and goes, but also the players that have been coming in. Just look at Celia, for example, after Paula. Murphy has been also doing great. We can rotate some players in and out, and that's something that I've been saying it to the team, like you've seen a proper start 11, but we also seen players coming in and doing it well. So the other players that have not been in the start 11 lately, like they need to know that you when you get the chance, you need to be ready, and that's something that I'm happy that I've seen so far, is that when we put in players, they're ready and they fight for it, and they want to make sure that they can contribute to the team. So that's something that we need to just focus on and trying to make the best out of these 3 games.
Is the mental pressure something that you'll speak to the squad about, just about managing the expectations and everything that's around the next 3 games and the next week, essentially?
For me, it just comes to like before Rangers, obviously I said that I had to remind them of what we've been doing and how good we've been doing, and remind that, like, we need to be confident of what we have done. And it's going to be the same thing now. It's more about, in the same end, like we have been working so hard to be in this position like we are. So it's more about also, like, for me, it's about trying to enjoy and be happy about the situation we are in, so we can, come into the games and be excited and be, hungry to want more, and not feel like the opposite way, because that's going to be, for me, a key of performing how we've been performing, is that hunger needs to be there for every game. Like, there's no time of thinking that it's done or anything like that, because we know that these 3 games are going to be very different, very difficult still. So that's something that it's going to be a mental pressure, but we also worked hard to be in this position that we are in.
Have you allowed yourself to contemplate what it might be like to be the first manager of Celtic who guides a team to a title?
No, I think, like, obviously, like, we're close, and like I said, I think the team around the Celtic Park, like the media or the staff or the people around who works at Celtic Park, every time they say something about being champions, I'm the first one of saying there's 3 games left. Like, I think it just comes to, like, the excitement of we can be champions, but I still have focus of preparing the team for Partick Thistle now. And then when that's done, I need to prepare the team the best possible way against Hearts. And then when that's done, I need to prepare the team the best possible way against Hibs. And what happens then, that's something that you need to try to be ready for then.
That game against Hearts could be potentially fraught. You've seen them beating Rangers a couple of weeks ago. Celtic dropped points there just prior to your arrival at Christmas time too. I think Oriam can be a really small, tight pitch. I think Hearts can be an awkward opponent on it.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about that until Partick Thistle is done. So Partick Thistle has been doing great. I think it's obviously, like, we've had some good results against them, but it's more about, like, what we can do now that's going to matter. And for me, that's the biggest challenge right now. It's Partick Thistle on Sunday.